Before the video starts, I'd like to quickly clarify that I have not played the Halo franchise, nor have I played the Battlefield franchise, so this will be a non-biased review. Hello there! Today we're going to be covering a topic which is of utmost urgency. Is Halo Infinite better than Battlefield, or vice versa? As you heard in the beginning of the video, I have neither played either franchise, so this would be a completely non-biased review. So please enjoy the rest of this video, and I'll give my thoughts on either game and tell you which in my opinion is better. Our first chapter is price. Price can determine a lot about a game, including if it's good or bad. These games can also be defined by a bunch of other traits we'll be getting into later in the video, but for now, let's focus on price. So let's look at the Battlefield price. I mean, it surely can't be a... Oh, that's expensive. So, Battlefield 2042 appears to be 50 quid. I'm British, I know. So, I'm gonna have to say that this is not worth the price. I repeat, this game is not worth the price. Now, let me explain. Basically, I feel like the price is overrated for the amount of bugs and glitches that this game still has, even after about a few updates. It's just that you should wait until a sale if you wanted to buy this. That's what I have to take from it, and I shall go on later in the video to explain why I believe this. But keep in mind, this is all in my opinion. It could be different for what you think, but what I think the price is not worth it. Now that we've seen Battlefield's price, you should be pleased and delighted to see that Halo's price is... Now that's a nice price. Free. Now I'd like to clarify that the free price is for the multiplayer only, and there is a campaign, however, which Battlefield does not have, and that is 40 quid. Once again, I'm British, I'm aware of this. So if you'd like, you can buy the campaign, but it's not optional. And I can tell you, I'm having plenty of fun playing around in the multiplayer. It's so worth it. I have a few clips from either game, but they will not be describing the same sounds, if you may. But it will give you an idea of the type of things that you'll be hearing in it. Now keep in mind that both games are played on the highest audio quality that I can put on them. So, put on headphones, because you're going to need to hear this.
They have control of Sector Echo.
Hopefully now you've got a bit of a grasp on how the audio functions in both games. In my personal opinion, I feel like that in Battlefield, it feels more powerful, but in Halo, it feels more streamlined. So, in my personal opinion, I feel like Battlefield has better audio quality, but that does not necessarily mean that it is better than Halo. For instance, roll the next section. We all know that maps are a pivotal part to any game, but each map in every game can be different, including the level design or the props in it. Now, each game is completely different, as in Battlefield is way bigger than Halo, but bigger does not always mean better. And that goes for a lot of people, if you know what I mean. Now, let's have a look into some of the maps. Starting off with the Battlefield maps, there are 7 main game maps, and these include of Kaleidoscope, Manifest, Orbital, Discarded, Renewal, Hourglass, and Breakaway. But these are not the only maps, as there are 6 more in the Portal mode, which are the Battle of the Bulge, Elaine, Arica Harbor, Velaspero, the Caspian border, and the Noshar canals. I will not show these in the video because it's just too much. I can't. Now we're moving on to Halo. Compared to Battlefield, Halo has a little under the same maps as it has 10 maps, which is surprising. Now, Halo map is more confined and a bit more smaller for fast-paced action and close-quarter interaction. This is to prevent the game from getting dull and boring and to make sure that there's always something happening, and if not, it's something that can benefit you, like getting loot or getting shield. But not all the maps are confined. For instance, there is a desert map which is quite open, which is more reliable to be using vehicles around. And it's also pretty fun to use a sniper which can sometimes spawn inside of the spawning stations. So if you'd like to go into small confined spaces and have fun interactions, but not too confined, then Halo Infinite is the game for you. However, if you're considering a large scale and semi-realistic game which requires heavy use of vehicles to get around to save your teammates or to help others, then Battlefield is more stylish for you. Something to note about Halo Infinite is that there are a lot less vehicles, which it can be a concern regarding some of the earlier games had more variety and more space to use vehicles. But in Halo Infinite, the combat has evolved to FPS standards and vehicles are becoming more, I guess, a bit more of a transportation method, but it's still great to use for combat and can be a game changer if the setting is right. So, that's a little bit that you need to know. In terms of replayability, we'll be looking at a leveling system in each game. This will include that when you reach a certain level, you receive a certain unlock. Now, we'll be looking at both games, so we'll be having a look into which one is more good to participate in, or which one is needing to be bought. Now, Battlefield's tiering system includes that in every level you unlock a different prize, or a different vehicle, weapon, or attachment. It doesn't really matter what, but the main thing is that each level you unlock something new that can help you in your battle. Now, this is a free battle pass, as some would say, but it's not exactly a battle pass that it is a leveling system. So it is not optional, but it's also a non-viable thing, or it's something that you can just get right out the go without having to spend any money. So, I think that's pretty good in my opinion. It's something that a lot of other games should do, EA included. So, I think that even though EA ran this game, they didn't include a lot of microtransactions, for the most part, or for the time that is. They may add it in the future, but it's unknown, so we're gonna have to wait and see about that. However, Halo takes a different approach, as Halo does have some unlocks that can be achieved without you spending any money on the Battle Pass. However, there is in fact in the Battle Pass that does require money for you to participate in fully. Now, it is also an optional thing that you could do or buy, but in the most part, you get a lot of rewards if you purchase it and not a lot if you don't. But even though all the unlocks are cosmetics, they still do not affect your gameplay. So, in my opinion, I feel like that's something that could be improved upon, but for the time being, is still good as it is. So you've made it to the very end. Now keep in mind, from the beginning I've told you that I've never played a Battlefield game, nor have I played a Halo game, and that still holds true. So this will be a non-biased conclusion as well. So in this section I'll tell you which game I recommend that you buy and which one seems to me better. So I shall keep this brief to let you decide which is better. So, if you're looking for a mill experience or a game which focuses heavily on teamwork, combat, and exploration, then I feel like Battlefield is perfectly suited for you. Though, if you're looking for a more laid back and less intense situation where you can just relax and chill out with the homies, then Halo is also good. However, I cannot say that either game will not spark some bugs or glitches, as they have been released very early. However, Battlefield may be more buggy as, well, I think we can all see how that is buggy. One more thing to take note is that I shall give my personal opinion on which game is better. And in that, my favorite game out of these two is Halo Infinite. With the reason being in that when you die in Battlefield, you feel frustrated, anger, and just contemplating, how did he kill me? How? I don't get it. But in Halo, when you die, you're just like, damn. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and so I shall see you soon. That is, if I upload, because I might just take a break for like 3 weeks, so you know how it is. Also, wasn't there that other game that was released this year? I mean, I may be wrong, but I think I knew what it was. It's just that I don't know exactly. Yeah, it's garbage.